is good. Extreme risk is also good, but sometimes you need to be very logical as well. And I think this is also a point where fear comes in as well, in maybe making decisions. I feel like this would be healthy fear because it gives you a check-in, a self-check to understand that this thing really matters. If this goes under, it really matters.
Hello and welcome to Balance It podcast. In this podcast, we have conversations about wellness, personal development, and purpose.
And in this episode, from this little box, you can see we are going to tackle again the month wrap-up of questions from our social media pages and also from what we feel like we've not covered over the month based on the previous topics. I'm your host, Gertrude Nasike.
And I am Eda Onyoni.
You know the drill. So you're just going to pick a question, read it aloud, explain if it doesn't seem self-explanatory, and then we can tackle it.
All right.
Okay. Stop choosing.
Today I'm neutral.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, what technologies have you used to help you grow your business?
I would say social media, and in this I mean Facebook and Instagram. They've been very instrumental when it comes to growing my business, and also YouTube. YouTube has been helpful in terms of research and just understanding how to deal with other issues or learning new things that are related to the business, and also just to learn about maybe the audience and also how to use the social media for business. How about you?
Yeah, so for me, the same case as well. Social media in terms of Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, and also because I'm in the service industry, I have to keep on improving my mindset. I've used like some number of online book platforms. Yeah, and I can specifically say Headway. Headway is it's a platform, but it's an app. It's an app.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an app where they have different number of books.
Yeah.
And most specifically are more of self-help books, and they have them in audio, and as well as you can be able to read. And some of the audiobooks that they have, or actually most of the audiobooks that they have, they are in summarized form.
Wow.
So if you feel lazy but you want to like read a whole book in 15 minutes, you can just listen to that audiobook and you will be good to go, because they normally put in the main elements of that specific book.
Wow.
So yeah, I can say Headway as well is the book platform that I use also to search for books that I need to read in the next, in case I need like a full book.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's really impressive. And the one so what role does resilience play in overcoming setbacks and failures as an entrepreneur?
Okay, we did our episode.
I was waiting for that.
On entrepreneurship. And I remember on that day when we were shooting that video, we talked so much about failure, and how it can either make you grow or, depending with how you want to view it, it can either help you grow or it can be a setback to you. So what was the question again?
I didn't see that coming, but anyway, what role does resilience, right, play in overcoming setback and failure as an entrepreneur?
I think resilience, I think, is very compulsory. If you want, like in this journey of entrepreneurship, I think it is very compulsory, because otherwise then you can be able to back down any time that you feel that either there is a failure or there is an easier chance for you to slide back to your comfort zone. So I feel like resilience plays a huge role, and also it plays a huge role in terms of whether you will see the end of your entrepreneurship journey. Because if it is not resilience, and I can just add onto it consistency, then definitely I don't think you can be able to get to the end of the journey, or to the end of the results that you want for your business as an entrepreneur. I think resilience is very important.
I also agree with that. It's very, very important. I feel like for me, resilience gives you the business muscle you need. You see, like it's like with every failure and setback, you gain more muscle. You know, normally in fitness, they normally say while building muscles, like there's that failure, like the point at which if you're lifting weight, that last lift, or if it's push-ups, that last push-up that you're feeling, you cannot do it anymore, you're not feeling pain, like you can't go any further, that's now failure to you. And it's at that point that you also build more muscle, you know. So the same thing if you put it in the context of business, when you keep going, when you keep being at it, you feel like with all these failures and with all these setbacks, every moment you face a setback, it's like it's building the your business muscle, you know. It's building the business more and more, because you're learning from it. You're like, last time maybe as from the previous episode on entrepreneurship, you're saying the first client you met was quite disappointed in the work you did for him, right? And this is a failure for you in your case, but the subsequent clients were very impressive. So this is like a muscle that was built at this setback that you met, because you now knew this is actually now quality, in regards, like this should be my bare minimum. And it's made all the other clients like understand. And the fact that you did not stop at just that point of feeling like I've failed in this part for this client and stop there, but rather you were more resilient and went on to the next step with different clients, and actually ended up being able to deliver to this client, is a clear way in which resilience plays a role in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay.
So on to the next.
Yes.
How do you differentiate between healthy confidence and arrogance?
Wow.
What is healthy confidence?
Or just confidence? I would just say confidence.
Yeah. But okay, well, there can be healthy confidence. Okay.
No, I feel like confidence is just confidence.
Is overconfidence healthy?
In some cases, no.
So then there is healthy confidence.
Yeah, I feel now the way you brought it up that way, I feel like there's healthy confidence. So I would say there's a thin line.
Yeah,
there's a very thin line, but the difference is for confidence, you actually self-aware, or you're actually authentic, or you're actually living within, you're operating within an understanding of all the factors put in place. But when it comes to arrogance, first of all, I feel like you're just not aware of yourself. or even if you're aware of yourself, then your level of awareness is quite questionable, right? Because there are so many things. I feel like arrogance brings up the elements of being mean and just not caring. Even sometimes you're actually on the wrong, but you really are not caring. But with confidence, you feel like, yes, I'm actually on the right path, but you're courageous enough to communicate it, or just to be open to telling people, this is what I feel like, and this is what probably I vouch for, or even if you're on the wrong, you're open to accepting, by the way, I see the way you've pointed it out. I actually fell short here, and probably you're willing to embrace now going into understanding, or rather changing those areas where you have shortcomings. Yeah.
I agree with you. It's just on the same point. I also feel confidence is about where you are able to allow other people to criticize you, and you take in that criticism positively, and you are willing to, there is that open space that you have created, such that you can allow criticism from other people. But with arrogance, it's like you've built a wall that you don't want anyone else to come into your space, such that whatever somebody else tells you, maybe you don't take it positively, or you just don't take it positively. And I feel like there is some element of confidence that can get into arrogance. So it's like a line whereby we have confidence, like let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is confident, overconfident, arrogance. So you get that because confidence can easily be pushed into arrogance in some level, in some way, because once maybe I am confident in, maybe let's say, wellness matters, I am confident and I can be able to teach people about it. And once I have taught people about it, I get to a level where I feel like now I don't want to take in any other input from other people. So I get to a point where I'm overconfident about myself, and I don't regard anything else that you tell me as important or anything, because I feel overconfident in my skin and element, such that now I start just throwing words everywhere because of now my overconfidence, which now turns into arrogance, which is now not good as an end result. So I feel like confidence can easily be overconfidence, can easily be arrogance, if not handled properly.
I like the way you've actually just put it on a scale and kind of brought a journey of arrogance from confidence. That is very true. That is very, very true.
Especially like if you know you are an expert in something, I feel like and you feel like maybe you are the only one who is an expert in that specific area. It is very easy
for you to forget.
Yeah, and that is why they normally say that you need to be humble when you're at your peak, because it is very easy for somebody who is at the top not to be humble because of arrogance.
Wow, that is very, very true. Stop choosing. You want us to do?
These are those big ones.
Maybe you'll need to explain them.
Okay, how can celebrating small victories and milestones contribute to building long-term confidence and self-esteem? And I would want to know, do you guys celebrate your victories? Do you really celebrate those small victories? Those victories that you think are small, do you even celebrate them?
So I feel like for me it contributes a lot, because it puts it helps me appreciate myself. And I feel like a self-esteem, as I said before, emanates from also self-love. And self-love is also in direct relation to self-appreciation. So I'm not just going to get burnt out, and maybe I've not achieved all the goals, right? But still, there are those that I've achieved. I try to appreciate myself, and I feel like over time it has really helped me in being more confident and just understanding that yes, I'm actually on the right path, even if not everything is really set out right, or even if not everything is fully working out at that moment, but at least among the 20, maybe there are 15 or the 10 things that I achieved, and I really celebrate this. And I feel like also when it comes to in group things, celebrating those small wins is very important.
Sure.
Even if it's just getting, maybe you had a target of 10 subscribers, or 10 talking to 10 people within a month, or making 10 sales in a month. It is very important. If you even make 10 sales of the most affordable products, not those quite premium products, but you made even 10 or 5 of them. Celebrate yourself, even take yourself out, even if it's just for ice cream or for a soda. Just buy and tell your mind, like, this is actually, just trick your mind to understand that this is actually for appreciating you. It's something you might be buying on a daily basis, but for that day, attach it with the intention of it being towards your appreciation.
And I have a problem with these small victories. Just the word small victory. I feel like a victory is a victory, and it should not be belittled to be small.
But I feel like maybe it's just a way of quantifying them. Maybe, like, you see the way you can have scalable victories. Maybe you're like you set a goal to do something, but it's scalable. It's just that you've not gotten to the 5 scale. You're still at the first scale. So I feel like maybe people use the small, medium, large. The same thing for companies. There are small, maybe small companies, startups, or starting out, medium level companies, and big companies. But it's not a way to really actually belittle them, just putting them in a scale or in a hierarchical order. I feel
then that makes sense, because my mind was like, small? No.
Don't do small.
Go home.
I will go home.
I remember even like initially when we had set ourselves the 200 targets and 200 target subscribers. First of all, thank you so much for helping us achieve that target, and we actually achieved. And I remember us treating ourselves for dinner.
And it was in-house, homemade dinner.
But it was like made with love, and how it made us feel motivated that we can actually continue doing this and just keeping each other on track. It was really good. So I think celebrating small victories, celebrating small victories is important, because it gives you motivation to keep on doing. And once you have that motivation to keep on doing, then definitely high chances are that your confidence is also going to continue increasing. Now, since we have 200 subscribers, it gives us motivation that then this is something that is workable. It was not just an idea in our minds. It means that it is workable, and people are actually seeing the intentionality that we are putting into it. And I think it gives you the motivation, and also it gives you your self-esteem gets boosted in some level, because you feel like, now for me, I feel like how I value myself gets boosted, because it's like people are also appreciating how I value myself. So it's like it removes it from maybe level of, let me say, 70 to 90, because of mine was at 70, but now somebody else takes it to 90 because of just just supporting whatever that I have started. And yes, definitely. Celebrating small victories helps in boosting confidence.
That's really well put.
Yep.
I am picking the other one. Okay. So, do you think there's a relationship between self-awareness and entrepreneurship?
Yes.
Oh. Tell us more. Tell us more.
I am an ambassador of.
Yes.
I am an ambassador of follow your purpose and create an entrepreneurial journey out of your purpose. And your purpose comes from self-awareness. So once you are at a point of knowing who you are, it's very easy to identify if your journey in terms of purpose is it either scalable in terms of it being a business or not. I know purpose being monetized is another different question that people have different answers for, which is okay. But for me, what I believe in, once you know yourself and you can actually get to know what your purpose is out of your self-awareness, then you can be able to create a journey of entrepreneurship out of your purpose, which is stemmed from you knowing yourself, which is now self-awareness. So once that is done and a business is built out of this purpose of yours, definitely you won't be doing it out of money. Definitely you won't be doing it to just make people happy. It will be out of creating impact. And if everyone does that, if everyone knows what their purpose is and then they create a business out of it, if it is business worthy, then I feel like the world will be in a better place, because you will be shining in your light. I'm shining in my light. If I know I need something, I will come to you. You will be okay to even give it to me for free, or just because it is a light that you just want everyone to see because it is in you. So yes, I can go on and on, but definitely yes, self-awareness is related with entrepreneurship in that specific element.
Wow, I also think it's actually related in it, and I would, just as you've said, if you're also not self-aware, it's going to affect your decision making. In one of the episodes that we had a guest, and she was very instrumental, and she even mentioned that we really need to be assertive or be clear about how we communicate or how we do things. What are your lines? This really applies in business as well. And you can't do all these things if you're also not self-aware. You can't make decisions that probably are going to spearhead the company forward, and at the same time you need to be empathetic, but at the same time you need also to make harsh decisions that are also very beneficial to the company and the general good of even the people working in the company, right? But if you're not self-aware, you might be in a position to maybe lay on one side. Either you're going to forget being empathetic towards your employees or the people you work with, and this is going to definitely affect the business, because it's not going to be any longer being a family kind of thing, you see. But at the same time, if also you're also too empathetic to the people, and then you forget at the end of it all a decision needs to be made, even if it's a harsh decision, sometimes maybe laying off someone, maybe it's inevitable at that point in time. You've given them chances and they're not in a position to maybe change or improve, or there's a different part of the company where their skills are not really applicable in that time and period, but you're trying to really bring in the or you're really trying not to make the decision because you're really attached to this, being empathetic and too emotional as well. It's not a bad thing, but it will lead to the failure of the business as well. So gaining a balance really requires self-awareness, and I would say it comes up in this aspect.
Yeah, and just to add on that, I think also now in the same aspect, if somebody is now empathetic and maybe that role requires a different kind of maybe leadership style, then if that person is self-aware, they will be like, okay, then I'm not the right person.
Yes.
Or if maybe they're the only people who can be able to make that decision, then they will have to change. It does not now need the empathetic version of you. It is a crisis, so we need to make a decision. If somebody is self-aware in that specific sphere, then they will have to make better decisions if they are self-aware. But if they are not self-aware, then they will be like, okay, so but a decision has to be made at the end of the day.
Indecision is also a decision.
Yeah, true. So I think
it helps, right?
Yeah.
On to our last question. That was fast.
Yeah. It was so fast. Okay. You remember even in last month, I'm the one who finished.
Hey, Edda, I can't even remember. Wow. Then there's something. Next time I'll do. And then I'll be the one to finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think fear is good in your entrepreneurship journey?
I would say some bit of it, but it also depends in what aspects. If it's starting up a business or an entrepreneurship journey, maybe there's a reason as to why you're fearing. But if the fear is derived from external factors of maybe things like what will people say, or I don't know, such like things that really are not going to benefit your business, then you really need not to put that, that's not healthy fear in that entrepreneurship journey. It's going to be a setback and it's going to be a stumbling block to your progress. But when it comes to situations where there may be decisions in your entrepreneurship journey that you feel you're not so confident about, and there are high stakes in it, maybe to lose, or risk is good. Extreme risk is also good, but sometimes you need to be very logical as well. And I think this is also a point where fear comes in as well, in maybe making decisions. I feel like this would be healthy fear because it gives you a check-in, a self-check to understand that this thing really matters. If this goes under, it really matters a lot.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing. I would use this. I like using stories to try and pass my point. I would use this analogy. Maybe you're a pilot in plane and it is not a cargo plane. I don't know how cargo planes operate or something, but maybe it's the pilot and co-pilot. But still, if a lot is in stake, or if there's an accident, and maybe you just have two options, maybe to crash land that plane, and crash landing, maybe it's going to still, there's a high possibility of you also dying, or but maybe there's just a very big dilemma here, and it's going to involve maybe the two of you and your co-pilot going, and maybe the cargo will also get destroyed, or maybe later on, if actually the plane once it gets burned, like they can be retraced or gotten back, right? But there's also this situation where you are carrying passengers. You're flying a passenger plane with maybe 500 people. There's a lot to lose, and you still have that option. You'll have that fear, the fear that you will have while trying to navigate how to save this plane from not crashing. I feel like it's going to be different from the cargo, because this is life,
True.
I feel like it's going to be different. And the same thing I would say applies in the entrepreneurship journey. Because if the stakes are too high, it's going to carry fear, and that fear is healthy. Because if you're also not fearful, you'll be tempted to just go ahead and like, I really don't care. But the consequences are too big. The consequences mean maybe your business is going to go under. The consequences of crashing or crash landing that plane, it means all the 500 lives are getting lost. You see, the consequence is too big to actually just not care. And I feel that's how fear can be healthy in entrepreneurship. But if it's just fear, what will Edda think? What will Edda? She'll think I don't have money. Oh yeah, madam, think. I refuse that you think. You see, if it's that kind of fear, you actually have nothing to lose. Just go ahead and start the business and do the entrepreneurship.
Wow, I agree with you to some extent. But on the other side, as I feel like as you begin entrepreneurship, I feel like fear is important. And what you are talking about, self-awareness, should guide you on how to handle that fear in the cases when it arises. So fear in terms of when you're beginning your business, it could mean that either you are going in the right direction or you are going in the wrong direction. So I think it's just having that discernment of and knowing your why that can now help you to discern whether you are either on track or you are taking a detour. And then once you have begun that journey and you have decided now this is the path that you want to take, in between in the journey, when you are in the course of the journey, definitely fear will come. But it would mean that either you are taking another step higher, or it is either removing you from your comfort zone, or it is just fear that is maybe like Satan is trying to poke you to see if you can be able to draw back from, to withdraw from whatever that you are doing. I feel like fear is important because it helps us it helps us, it's like a wake-up call to ask us whether we are either on track or not on track. So I think fear to some extent, but also to whatever that you explained, I agree with that as well.
That's really true. And this has been a really nice wrap-up session.
Sure.
Just make sure you keep sharing your comments and also your questions. Like in all the episodes, we normally collect questions. It might be through our social media channels or sometimes even through personal feedback from the people we relate with, and also our viewers. So make sure you just put a question that you would also like us to tackle, or if we need to get an expert to tackle as well, so that we can also know what to bring to you.
Yes, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. It is free. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share also with family and friends. And until next time,
bye.